call is now being recorded.
Yo.
Yo.
What's good?
Shit, man. Chilling, trying to escape the Oklahoma heat.
Oh, it's hot down there.
Yeah, man. It's pretty much been in the 90s for the past 3 days.
Man, it's been kind of cold up here a little bit. We've gone everywhere from like almost 90 to like 60 something and all that. But you know what one of the best things to do when you're trying to escape the heat is?
What's that?
It's to chill in the crib, crank up the AC, and listen to an audio book. And you can do that. You can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial for more audiobook downloads at audibletrial.com/channel10. And if you do that, you have over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, your Android device, your Kindle, or your MP3 player.
That's what's up.
That is what's up. So make sure you check out audibletrial.com/channel10 and sign up and beat the heat and the cold and whatever other weather situation that this global warming has you in.
Feeling this here.
Yeah, son, you feel it, man. Word up, son. You gotta just do it, yo. Yo, word up, man. It's a different channel, son. Word up, on, man. Word up, watch the channel, son. Different plane now, man.
It's all good.
Word up, all good, baby, in every hood, son. Word up, yo. CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas, it's grown men. Bold face, gat in your face. Stay in place, yo. Crime lace. Cats more beef than Scarface. CNN, Network, Channel 10, it's on again. Street niggas, that's grown men. Bold face, gat in your face.
This call is now being recorded.
I mean, up until the Black Album, what Jay-Z album, and I know people are going to say Blueprint, I know people are going to say Reasonable Doubt, fuck that. What Jay-Z album is really as strong as Get Rich or Die Trying?
I mean, well, you know, I have an issue with, you know, both with how Jay-Z and 50 do their albums anyway, and I had an issue with Get Rich or Die Trying, but I mean, the thing is though, I think you would have to go with the Blueprint when it comes to Jay-Z, because there's no way you can really argue anything about the Dynasty or the Carter volumes. You just can't. Those Carter volumes are pretty bad to me. I mean, they had certain songs on there, yeah, but then overall they suck.
I mean, I like Carter too, but yeah, I feel what you're saying. I mean, in the Blueprint, it sounded like exactly what Jay-Z said. Like, they niggas just freestyled that shit in the weekend, pretty much. Like, there was no real depth to the lyrics, I didn't think.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I think it just all kind of... It seemed more organic. I mean, cause you know how Jay-Z is. I mean, come on. I mean, most of this episode has been about how he planned his exit strategy because 50 Cent was coming, and I feel like all of his albums in some way have been, you know, they you know, I think you even told me this, that he has certain songs that suck on his album by mistake, so other songs can seem way better to people or whatever like that. And, I mean, it makes sense, but I think the Blueprint was his only album, I think, that didn't seem, or I guess maybe that's a reasonable doubt, that didn't seem, you know, calculated. It seemed like he actually just did it just for the sake of, you know, doing it, all, like each and every song for the most part. And, you know, then he pretty much ends it off with the Blueprint. And he actually talks about himself. Something that we don't really get like that.
I mean, to me, American Gangster was what the Blueprint should have been.
I keep thinking about American Gangster. I mean, overall, yeah, but he still wasn't talking about himself like that.
That's true. And then, yeah, it wasn't as personal, but like, you just mentioned a dynasty, and this is what I meant to bring up earlier. You know, when they said 50 Cent is coming and all of that, I think Jay-Z kind of fucked all them up by making the Dynasty his album, because the Dynasty was supposed to be the Rockefeller Group album. And that was the first time you heard Freeway. It was the first time these dudes were supposed to get their shine. It was supposed to be a compilation album, but then Jay-Z just took it. And I think that would have, or could have possibly been a real launching point for a lot of people's careers.
I mean, yeah, but see, the thing about like Jay-Z is that I don't think that he could have gone anywhere in the midst of 50 Cent because of the fact that he had Big Pimpin' before Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah, see, and that's too. Like, the thing about Jay-Z is his first number one hit was Alicia Keys' New York.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Big Pimpin', I think Big Pimpin' was like one of the earlier, I guess, songs of our generation at least that really kind of caught popular culture. You know, like this is where you really get
remember
Pimpin'
all on MTV and like all the controversy about them pouring the liquor. Like, I mean, that whole thing was just, it was a moment.
I mean, it was. I mean, like, I just remember, you know, TRL, you know, like, at spring break, all the white girls, they wanted to hear Big Pimpin'. And, like, there was controversy involved, too. But then, like, you got to think about it. Like, I mean, the term pimpin' really came up. Like, it started to become more of, like, a thing to say after he said it. I mean, other than that, it was like really more of a down south thing, and that was really like a UGK type of, you know, 8-ball MJG type of thing from, you know, they would say in the deep south for real.
That's true.
For the most part.
And like it was funny because like the whole story behind how that song came together and how Pimp C really didn't want to do it, and Bun B had to convince him to do it.
Yeah, see, man, there's a calculation there too. You know, of course, he's going to do a song about Big Pimpin', so of course he's going to get UGK on it. And then, you know, there was always, I mean, he knew the South was coming too, and the South was way more prevalent. And of course, and then you can see, like in 99, he jumps on the remix of High. And Juvenile didn't even know it.
Yep, and then he gets Juvenile on his record, and that was like the only feature that Cash Money was allowed to do, one of the only ones. And he calculated everything, because you see what he did. I mean, he signed Jeezy and Rick Ross.
Oh, that's right. And then he signed Rihanna, and that was because of Cypher Sounds.
Yep.
I mean,
and then he calculated Rihanna's career to where she wouldn't end up being an island girl.
Yeah, so he hops on Umbrella, which I think in a way that was kind of like a, you know, in the clubbish kind of generalized beat.
Yeah, I mean that was produced by them dudes from I think they're from Norway or Sweden. I can't think of their name right now, but you know, them dudes that make all them pop hits and everything like that. So you know, he definitely calculated that down to you know, the nearest decimal.
You know, I was thinking about like these types of artists like Rihanna and Beyonce. But if you look at this, like if you look at their record sales, they don't like from an American standpoint, they don't really sell like a lot of records in America.
Yeah, but worldwide.
Yeah, but you look overall, like their albums, they just chart everywhere, but they don't really become certified everywhere, but they just sell all these damn albums all over the world. Like Shakira, I think one of her albums didn't even go anywhere, like in America. I think it's like the one before her last one or something like that. But like one of her singles, it went single. I mean, went like platinum or something like that. But all around the world, her shit just charted like #1.
But you see, Jay-Z is on it because Shakira's on Rock Nation.
Okay, well, see, this is the thing about Rock Nation, like, because I don't understand Rock Nation, because you told me that Prince is on Rock Nation apparently, or he's managed through Rock Nation.
Nah, his thing was through Live Nation.
Okay, Live Nation. Well, I mean, it's still the same thing to a certain extent.
I mean, because Rock Nation is like Jay-Z's record deal under Live Nation, and it has like touring and stuff involved in it. And then Rock Nation, they have the management, and then they have the labels. I think Shakira is being managed by Rock Nation. But like, Jay-Z sees what's happening. Like, you know, a couple episodes ago, we talked about the whole thing about, you know, the whole Nigerian scene and everything like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jay-Z, when he was defending Tidal, for some reason, he just wanted to put in there, he sent his cousin to Nigeria to go look for artists.
Okay, well, I think there's one thing, though, that he saw but didn't work out. It didn't work out the way it was supposed to work out, and that was the whole reggaeton shit.
Yeah, because they had the whole, I think maybe he had spread himself too thin to really put too much effort into it, because they had Rock La Familia, which was their Latino joint, and they had Nore, and they had True Life, and they had Aztec. And Nore, True Life got locked up for a murder, and Aztec was exposed as some type of fraud or something like that. But he was nice as shit, though. But nobody knows who he is.
Hey, you know, it's funny. I mean, you would think they would try to throw a Petey Crack on that, though.
I mean, there was a Jay-Z interview, it might have been on the Breakfast Club, where he was talking about Petey Crack. He said Petey Crack is crazy and keep that guy away from him.
Oh.
He was like, I don't want nothing to do with Petey Crack. Keep that guy away from me.
But still at the same, because it seems like Nore. I looked at his interview being with CNN and just by himself on the Breakfast Club, and all he does is interview on a Combat Jack show, on I think Juan Epstein twice. And I think
now sometimes on one app they'll just randomly call him and like talk to him for a little bit while he's like running or something.
Yeah. I think they called him like twice or three times.
Yeah.
And then he's been on the show twice, physically. And I think at least 3 or 2 out of those, like 5 times, he's talked about Rock La Familia and Jay-Z, and how, you know, they just wasn't. Because the thing was, though, he just didn't pay attention to Nore, and he was selling records, you know, with Daddy Yankee, and then he had like one of those songs with some type of not weird, but some type of, you know, international chick that no one knew about in America, but he was popping off in different countries overseas or whatever.
With Cypher Sounds girls, whose name I can't remember, but
Nina Sparrow.
Oye Me Canto.
No, but I think there was like another song too, though. That he was talking about, like
he did like a whole album.
Yeah. He had Daddy Yankee. Because I remember at one point it was kind of like he was like way back when he was, you know, with Neptunes. Like he was just everywhere.
Mhm.
You just couldn't get rid of him. Like he had music videos on lock. So I don't know, man. Like I think Nore, he could have still been more relevant than what he is. Maybe if Jay-Z would have put more, like, gave him more attention to something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Nore, when it all comes down to it, you know, and it's funny that we talk about Nore because, you know, our podcast name comes from his group's song on that first album. And it's crazy because I think his biggest impact in music has nothing, you know, is not hip hop, but it's, you know, reggaeton. Because he's really the guy who brought reggaeton into the consciousness of America.
If you think about it. I will say though that I think sometimes if you think about it. Because, you know, like, they have, like, you know, they have what is called the East Coast Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
and I can't think of like the range, but isn't like the range from like 92 like to 96 or 90? I don't think it's. Maybe it's 97, but I don't think it is.
I mean, like, I think there's different ones, but if you're talking about from taking it away from the West Coast more, I would say it's when Wu-Tang came out.
But see, that's the thing. I mean, yes, when Wu-Tang came out, but then, you know, Enter the Stage came out before Wu-Tang.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I think Wu-Tang had the bigger impact or whatever than Enter the Stage.
Well, yeah, I mean, it did. I mean, see, the thing about Enter the Stage that I think messed it up, for real, was the fact that the I Got You Open remix was not on the album.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Like, I'm not even going to front. You know, years later, you know, when I actually bought the physical copy of that album, and I'm listening to it, and I go to the track that's supposed to be I Got You Open, and it was some other shit. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, like, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Into the Stage, and I think the main reason why was because when I listened to it, you know, I had already heard, and I remembered it as a kid. I remembered I Got You Open remix, just seeing it on a box. And, you know, I thought I was going to hear Buckshot do this flow, but he didn't do it. And I was like, I was really just focused on Buckshot's, you know, I Got You Open remix flow and where it was. So I didn't understand it. And it was funny because I listened to the Ninth Wonder Combat Jack interview that they did at A3C.
Yeah.
And that was a really, really good interview because I've never really heard Ninth Wonder really talk about his life. And you know, he talked about working with Buckshot and how I think on the second one he got Buckshot to do the I Got You Open remix flow. And he was like really excited to hear it, and then he like even did like what he recited or like a rendition of it, like the intro to it, for that album. I've yet to listen to it though, but I want to go back and listen to it now.
Yeah, I gotta sit down and listen to that for real.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think you know, it's interesting. Like, you know, I really like Into the Stage because it's just raw hip hop. And then I like Smith and Wesson, Smith and Wesson's album because it was that but elevated. And I guess I like Smith and Wesson's album more. And then when you listen to Helter Skelter, that album just took it to another level because, you know, to be honest, Sean Price and Rock are just better rappers than all the rest of them, I think. I think the production wasn't necessarily as good, but I think lyrically they kept you more entertained. I think Smith and Wesson just had you more in the zone. And then OGC's album was just like, I don't know, I was kind of like, you just kind of get tired after a while because, you know, they can't really rap like that. And it's just the same type of beats, but not as memorable as, say, a Bucktown or Who Got the Props or, you know, a lot of other records that they had. So it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you know, with Boot Camp, there was the Wu-Tang. I mean, you know, it's hard to remember who was in who is who in what group sometimes.
Because like they had all these different groups, but then two of the groups formed a group together that was supposed to come out with an album but never did. Or maybe it was different members because they were supposed to have the Fab Five, and that was, I think, it was supposed to be. Maybe it was Helter Skelter, Smith and Wesson, and then Starang from OGC. I think that might have been the Fab Five, but that never materialized. But they do have songs all together and stuff.
Okay, I wasn't. See, I wasn't really aware of that, bro. But going like talking about like the East Coast Renaissance, I wanted to ask you a question that I've been thinking about, and of course, I'm still against streaming, at least for now, to a certain extent. But my question is though, let me think of like some type of indie hip hop artist real quick. Let's say perfect. What's his name? The young guy who has the collective, and he's like, he does all the 90s stuff. He's like younger than me.
Badass.
Yeah. All right. So you're in LA. You go into Amoeba Records, and you go there for Joey Badass's album. You have the choice to get it in either cassette or CD only. Which one would you choose? And they're the same price.
Oh, man. I guess I would probably, if it was Joey Badass's album, I would get it on cassette.
Okay.
But actually, I don't know. Like, I would get on cassette, given that I have a good cassette player.
Okay. Alright. Well, I asked that because, I was looking at, various labels I'm going to send, like, my demo to, especially Fat Beats, and pretty much all their artists, they have cassettes for all their artists on their label. And then I started thinking about it, and, just thinking about different, like, indie artists that I listen to, who are on Pitchfork or whatever, who are strictly independent. And if you think about it, their album, like, pretty much all their albums, like, are on cassette, and they sell them. And I was thinking that, I think it's probably almost safe, at this point, it's almost safe to assume that, at least when you're dealing with the independent circuit nowadays, that you could probably assume that their album is also going to come out on cassette. And then I was thinking that maybe streaming kind of, the way that you can stream things on Spotify and Tidal nowadays, maybe the fact that you can stream things kind of helped out, the vinyl culture and especially cassette culture that really died out, compared to vinyl that was always around. But cassette culture pretty much died and then they came back. So I was wondering.
Yeah, because, like, you might hear something streaming it, and then you might be like, yo, I gotta, let me get this cassette.
I mean, yeah.
Play it like that, and, yeah, it's interesting, too, because, like, with the Tidal, I downgraded my service. I did have the hi-fi joint, but I downgraded it to the regular because I don't have, a decent speaker system. So it's like, why pay the extra $10 if I really can't enjoy the extra sound quality or whatever? But if I get me some, like, Beats headphones or something or some good, setup, I'll go back to it. Not really even for hip-hop, but for, probably more like jazz and rock type stuff. But, yeah. Yeah, I've been meaning to get like a good cassette player. I'm gonna probably go to Goodwill or something and see what I can pick up, like some old components and stuff like that. Or maybe check out eBay and see what I can get. One thing I noticed though, and I learned this late in the game, dealing with cassettes and dealing with a lot of my tapes, busting or whatever, is cleaning your cassette heads is very important. And like, I never clean my joints. I noticed that, like a lot of my tapes would just bust to the point where, honestly, I have like kind of a phobia of cassettes because I'm always afraid I'm going to put it in and it's going to not work because, or like, my tape is going to bust because it happens so many times to me. But after a while, I started cleaning my cassette players with just Q-tips and rubbing alcohol, and that seemed to help it a lot. And I always talk about this with my my MOP tape bus, and it just upset me so bad. Because I used to play that album so much, Warriors, and going off on a tangent, you know how like I always talk about I'm riding in the car with my girl when some song comes on?
Yeah.
Yo, guess what song came on Sunday, and I was so excited, and she was just looking like, what the fuck?
It was either Annie Up or Cold as Ice.
It was both of them. Yo, like, because the Rap Attack was on, and so she went to go do something, so I'm in the car, and like, some dumbass shit was playing on 92Q, so I turned the volume down. She came back in the car, she turned the volume back up. It's the end of Annie Up, and I'm just rapping along to it, and I think she said something like, you like this song? And I'm like, yeah, like, this is Annie Up, right? Like, this is MOP, like, I played this cassette till my tape bust, and she just was like, okay. And I'm like, you never heard this song? She's like, yeah, I heard it, but I was like, yo, people go crazy to this song right here. So then, I guess they were doing, that little throwback section. So then after Annie Up, they played Cold as Ice. And I turned that shit up a little bit. Like, yo, like, this is it right here. And she's just like, so not enthused. I guess, I kind of felt bad for listening to it because, it's so violent. And, with everything that's been going on, just in Baltimore in terms of violence and how it's, hit us in a personal type of way.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't a good time to be playing that type of music. But it's just the nostalgia of it. Like, yo, this is the shit that I came up on. Like, this is what was playing in my ears. Like, I remember my first MOP memory was a song G Building off of that album. And Hip Hop played it, and then like eventually, I went and got everything that MOP ever did, and that's like one of my top 5 favorite duos ever. And it's like now that I'm older, sometimes it's kind of hard for me to listen to like the violent lyrics and stuff like that. But even so, I still love the beats. I love the way they rapping. It's not like these niggas out here who just rapping and can't really rap. Like these dudes can actually, they have lyrical dexterity and breath control and all the things that make an MC an MC. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, I find myself, being, I guess, a victim of nostalgia. Like, for example, preparing for this episode, I was going through, like, different blogs through my Feedly. And, I finally, I think I told you this, I'm not sure. I finally listened to the interview with Turk on the Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had to tell you, man, that was like an inspirational. Like everything everything in his life just went to shit. For real.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I saw that he had some type of like remix of one of his songs with Lil Wayne, and I mean I listened to it. I mean I was never the biggest Cash Money fan anyway, but just the fact that it's Turk and Lil Wayne, I said let me listen to it real quick, and I think I just did it just for like just for the fact that it's Turk and Lil Wayne, then it kind of took me back to the box. So I remember, seeing like Bling Bling for the first time and not really understanding what it was. So it was kind of nice, although I didn't like the song though, but still.
I remember that because I remember being in, being at Grandma's house in the living room, and that song would come on. I actually liked the song at the time. If I do remember, I did like it. And I don't know if I felt bad for liking it or not, or I don't know if I hid that I liked it, because, you know, like, back in the day, you know, I used to kind of hide that I like certain shit.
I had you from my brother, shit.
Huh?
I said, you had you from my brother.
No, but he loved it.
He did?
You know, he used to come on, he used to come in, yo, he loved that shit.
I remember him liking Juvenile's joint, but not that one, though.
Nah, yo, he loved Bling Bling.
Okay.
He loved that shit, like, especially, like, BG's part. And you know what's crazy? Like, I was just listening, you know, I really need to go back deep into my Cash Money history, because I was just listening to DJ Paul on Vlad's podcast or whatever, and he was talking about his relationship with them, and, you know, basically how he can't listen to other rappers, and like how a lot of rappers can't listen to other rappers because you start picking things up from them and start taking from them, not even knowing it. And like, they did that one song I really liked, that it was like Hypnotize Mind, Cash Money joint. They did that Tedder Club Up shit, and I didn't even know. Yeah, and I think I remember the video from the box, and they were like in like an alley type of thing looking like, and they was smashing like TVs or something. But he said Manny Fresh produced that, and he was like, you know, it was good, but it wasn't their sound, and like a lot of their fans were like, yeah, it was good, but you know, go back to y'all shit. And he was talking about that whole period, you know, he was listening to, you know, 400 Degrees from Juvenile and all that. I'm like, man, I need to go back and really listen to that, because a lot of those songs I did like, and it was hard for me to like them because I was a No Limit dude, you know, back then, you know, you used to take sides, so I was a Nas fan when it came to Nas and Jay-Z, and when it came to Cash Money, No Limit, I was a No Limit fan, because Mystical was my favorite rapper at one point. So
I mean, but it seems like you forced yourself into being a No Limit person because you bought The Last Dawn, and it was 2 CDs, is all you had, and you had to like it because you had it.
Yeah, I spent my money on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point. But see, I think I also felt like, which I guess in hindsight, you know, doesn't make any sense. I felt like Cash Money was more commercial, and they were the new dudes coming in with this bullshit. And I guess maybe I felt like No Limit was the more real, even though that fucking CD, that Last Dawn CD was a hologram. And when you walk by it in the Sam Goody, it was like a holographic cover where Master P's was moving his wrist back and forth with his jewels. Like, it was one of the craziest hip-hop covers ever. But I was mad at Cash Money for flossing and being commercial and shit like that. I don't know.
I mean, shit, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, so I was actually I never really explicated fully my thing about Juicy J, but the thing about Six Mafia, you know, I was thinking about you know, like greatest albums of all time or whatever like that. And it's, at least for Rolling Stones, it seems like for a lot of albums that they do pick, at least most of them, it's based on the influence of that album. And I was thinking in my head, like, you know, if you're going, I mean, I don't know why they had a blueprint on the greatest albums of all time. I don't think it should be on that. Like, Illmatic is good, and, you know, Wu-Tang and Cuban Links, I'm still not entirely sure about that, because Mafioso Rap, I mean, I guess it really, it's always been there, I guess. You know, Rick Ross is doing it.
I mean, that really brought Mafioso Rap to the forefront, and I'm trying to think, did Kool G Rap do it before them or not?
He did. No. I mean, I think he did. He did. Look at the first 456.
Was 456 the one where he came out with it, or was it before that?
I think it was 4, 5, 6, but then I mean even like Road to the Riches is kind of like Mafioso, and then you have Cars where he sampled the Gary Newman joint, or DJ Polo did. I mean it was just all like fly shit, but although it still had like that 80s flavor, and so I think the 80s flavor kind of took away from the mafioso-ness, for lack of a better word. So I mean, but I guess I can see Cuban links because I mean, even if it's not mafioso, that particular element of champagne and everything like that has just been directly all throughout hip hop ever since then. Yeah. But I'm thinking like
I don't know what said that. He was the first nigga to really talk about like Cristal and like all this other type of shit.
Yeah, I think he said that on and you know, actually, because I went back and listened on another note, I went back and listened to the intro to Fila, and it's a weird intro, but I like it now. I think when he explained it, although still he explained it, it still didn't make sense to me. But for some reason, his explanation made me like it more.
You know, it's crazy. I like that album, and I completely forgot about it until you just brought it up. Yo, I forgot about that album. Damn, yo, that shit just came out. Yeah,
but alright, the 3-6 though. I feel like there should be some type of, I don't know what album it could be. Maybe it can't be the Unbreakables because I think that's a bit too late. But some 3-6 album, because this trap music that we're listening to, it came from 3-6 Mafia, and then you have Jeezy that really like just catapulted it into some other stratosphere or whatever like that.
It's crazy that you're talking about this because I just listened to the whole DJ Paul on DJ Vlad today.
I'm saving that for like a rainy day.
And he was talking about, and like, it's funny with these DJ Vlad joints because like a lot of the segments I've seen on his show, but it's cool like having them all right there. Yeah. And he was talking about the Migos and that triple, like how their flow, how like Lord Infamous did that shit first. And you know, other people in 3-6 did it, but Lord Infamous was the one who really did it. And he was talking about how everybody had their own type of flow and thing, which is why they were able to kind of do their own thing once it kind of broke up, which is interesting. And he was talking about like how they started a lot of this shit, and he said that he was really the first dude on the EDM joint, but it wasn't called EDM back then. They just didn't have a name for it, but he was on some shit with DJ Tiesto. And
ooh, he was?
Yeah, he said he was on some shit with DJ Tiesto before EDM was a thing. And this is DJ Paul, and he was like, he said something like, basically, the label wants to put you in a box, and they want to put a name on it. But whatever label he was on didn't have a name for it or whatever. And then he said somebody came out. I forgot who it was. Oh, LMFAO came out with some shit. And the label just put that EDM, like they just created that shit and made that. And that's kind of how it got big. And then he was talking about like Waka Flocka and stuff like that. And how like he really started all that shit. But it just didn't have a name yet.
I mean, like, see, this is the thing. Like, I mean, he has a point though, because I remember like that. I mean, but I think at the same time though, I think No Limit. Everyone No Limit, they had their different styles too. Like you look at Mia X, Mystical, Fiend, and which I think DJ Paul is coming out with something with Fiend too. I don't know if it ever came out though or not. But I think the first crowd of these Southerners that really came mainstream, but it's funny though because like, when DJ Paul and Gangsta Boo, when they were on Sway's show, they complain about the same shit that New York rappers are complaining about, that everyone sounds the same and no one has their own sound. Now, if you told me I would be hearing this shit from, like, you know, Six Mafia, yeah, like, you know, now, when I was a kid, I would have told you you're crazy. But, you know...
But even back then, ain't no interesting, like, you know, especially me, I don't know, like, I don't vocalize a lot of times, but, you know, I still have that, what do you call it? It's almost like a racism that I have towards the South sometimes. But when you think about it, the South is really the region that brought a lot of shit, like a lot of diversity to hip-hop, and they really are the first ones that started to incorporate the live instrumentation. And really the West Coast took a lot from, they took a lot from Ohio, and they took a lot from the South. And that's that live instrumentation and just the way that they did their records and how everybody sounds different. And like, you know, UGK doesn't sound like 3-6, doesn't sound like 8-Ball MJG, doesn't sound like the shit that was going on in Houston. Like, you know, we all lump all that shit together sometimes, but when you really listen to it, a lot of that shit is real different.
I mean, yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, because when, you know, I think we've talked about this in past episodes, and like just the whole Houston movement that was really, it was rather short for only 2-3 years, but it catapulted Bun B into relevancy. And is that a word, relevancy, or was it relevance?
I think both of them are a word.
Okay. And then this is something else, man. Like, because I feel like we keep going on tangents, and I keep forgetting about other things that I keep forgetting to write down for these episodes. But this is a really good one. Cause I think I pretty much said what I said about Six Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they should have like a greatest album of all time just based on their influence.
It probably has to be Mystic Styles. But the one that really got me was the album that had Pussy Got You Hooked with Remy Ma. But yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so going back to the Ryan Leslie interview.
Right. And
he was talking about, man, like, the number I give you is my number. This is my number right here. And I couldn't help but think of Mike Jones. And I wonder if Mike Jones has some type of influence on what Ryan Leslie is doing right now, because it seems like, based on what he's saying, like, what he's doing is really simple. And if we think about Mike Jones, this is what he did. He just gave out his number, and he became Mike Jones.
But see, the thing is, and I've heard this from like a lot of Southern artists, because, you know, like, when New York was popping and the South was doing anything in hip-hop, they had their own shit going on. And, you know, back before the internet, you didn't know what a rapper looked like. And I think I've heard, it might have been Boosie or it might have been somebody else. Oh, man, shit, man, I want to talk about this Boosie shit. This might be a whole nother episode, though. But the thing with them is, like, scammers would come up and fake like they're the rapper and do a show and get paid. So they had to give out their number so that they, like on a song or some shit like that, so that you could call them and you would know that you're getting a real one.
Oh wait. So who said this again?
I don't remember who it was, or if I heard it from like a bunch of different people. It might have been Boosie, maybe. I want to say Boosie said it, like he had to give out his number because people would fake like they were Boosie and they would do shows.
You know, that's a really good point, because going back to the night one interview, and he was talking about the check that he received from Def Jam when he did the joint on the Black album. And he said that it had Ninth Wonder on the check.
Oh yeah, and he couldn't cash it or something like that.
Yeah, but then when he went to the same credit union, but he just went to the white one, they accepted it, but he still had to show his, like, you know, his picture and the source and stuff like that. I found that really interesting because I've never thought about that.
Yeah, and it's like, and I guess it's kind of like the thing with MF Doom, like, you know, like, with MF Doom, people don't know what he looks like, so anybody can say they're MF Doom and kind of do a show pretty much. And it's like back in the day before you had the internet and, you know, you really didn't know what these rappers looked like. You don't know if you're actually seeing the rapper at a show.
Yeah.
So they had to put their number out there so the promoters could call him and be like, yo, this is really me.
Damn, never thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like some Dark Ages type of shit, but you know, shit is real. And like another interesting thing, it's kind of a tangent, but kind of not, is when DJ Paul was talking about how, because DJ Vlad asked him who is N36. And he was like, whoever's not in jail, pretty much. And he was like, not 36 now, it's the Mafia 6. You know who's in it? And he was like, whoever isn't in jail. And he was like, he has different people that come out on the road with him. You know, it might be Fiend, it might be this person, it might be that person. But he puts in the contract that he's going to show up. And other people are going to show up, but he can't guarantee who is going to be there because, somebody might be locked up or something.
I mean, like that. I mean, they had some really clever movement. I mean, like, have you ever seen Juicy J's Hard Knock TV interview?
Nah.
Well, it was pretty in depth. Like, I mean, because like even like you can tell when Juicy J is like on the Hot 97 on the Breakfast Club, he's really like playing a character.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time like he's like actually like in his actual like speaking voice, he's talking about his life pretty much. And he said that apparently the interviewer, he was asking these questions that he found out somehow some way. Apparently, Juicy J's mother was a librarian, and at a young age, he, I think like 13 or whatever like that, he knew he wanted to be in the music business, and so he told his mother to like get him any and every book that she can find on the music business. So she would come home with these big ass massive books on the music business. So he was reading about, like mechanical royalties and shit like that when he was like 15, so he can learn. He wanted to learn any and everything he could about music and the ins and outs of the industry. And then eventually that's how it led to him making beats and, I guess helping create Six Mafia.
Damn. And see, this is the thing, like, and this is why you can't pay too much attention to the story that is projected by people of how they got where they're at. Because, especially with these South niggas, because one thing about people from the South is they follow one of the laws of power, which is, seem dumber than your mark. And people from the South, I find they're good at pretending like they're dumber than what they really are. And then all of a sudden, they just pop out with some shit and you be like, how they do that?
Yeah, I mean, shit. I looked at most of like this Rich Homie, like, I think like the latest Rich Homie.
Oh man, that Rich Homie, whoa, hold up. Yo, that Rich Homie Quan shit was crazy. Like, that dude is on another level than these niggas.
Which one was the interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was talking about this one book and how it just influenced him.
No. He's talking about the author. And another thing, like, man, I was so impressed because most niggas will tell you like some non-fiction, like some non-fiction self-help type shit. He talked about a fiction writer and how he like very few people will tell you about a fiction writer and how that shit impacted their life. But excuse me, the guy that he mentioned, and I can't think of it right now, but I did like take a note of it. This guy writes fiction books, and Rich Homie Quan was talking about how that shit impacted his life and his writing style and everything like that. And I was like, oh, okay, this guy's on another level right now. Like, because, you know, I have my thing, and actually it's me and my mother's boyfriend, we have this type of thing of, we don't really pay attention to fiction too much. But, you know, my mother, being in the field that she's in, she equates fiction to basically explaining things in life, I guess like, almost like a parable or whatever. And how, and there's a whole thing about how, you know, fiction is like the way that life, you know, it's just another way of like really getting to the root of what certain things in life are. And that type of view has made me want to get more into, you know, fiction and stuff like that. And I do like a lot of fiction books, but, you know, I'm more into like Kurt Vonnegut and things that, you know, even though they're fiction, they have an explicit meaning to them, I guess. And not like just the regular general like American fiction or whatever, which I've been trying to get more into or whatever, and I'll probably do that soon. But for him to you watch a 50 Cent interview and it's like, you know, I've read the 40 Laws of Power, and, you know, people read things like The Art of War, and they read meditations by that one guy, Aurelius or whatever, and these, you know, certain books that everybody in business reads, but very few people actually talk about like a fiction book. And he brought that shit up, and I was like, damn, like, he's gonna do something. Like Rich Homie Quan is here to stay in some capacity or another.
I mean, well, now I'm curious, like, to see some type of Young Thug interview because, you know,
you know what, and see, I was just about to say that too. Like, I wonder what the fuck Young Thug is on for him to be the way he is. And like, see, this is why I like Nardwuar interviews, and apparently Nardwuar has been doing this shit since like the 90s.
Oh man, this one to tell you. Oh my, have you seen the Jay-Z Nardwuar interview?
No, I haven't.
Oh man. All right, I think we're almost on episode number 4 at this point. Oh my, dude. Oh man. All right, this one thing. All right, I never knew he even had a fucking interview with Jay-Z. But he did the interview with Pharrell, and I haven't seen that one either. But he said that he had him do an interview with Pharrell. Pharrell loved the interview so much that he said it was the best interview he ever had in his life. That he just like really gave him props. And so Nardwuar said, well, can you please somehow give me like an interview with Jay-Z? And Pharrell emailed and texted him a bunch, like I think almost 20 times, and Jay-Z finally responded. And then so he was able to do it. And this is the thing though, it had to be one of the shortest Nardwuar interviews ever. And the interview actually kind of sucked. But the thing about his interview is that Jay-Z was a totally different type of person compared to any of his other interviews. You know, he has like a certain air, like he knows he's Jay-Z. Yeah. But on this one, since the interview was so hyped up, he's not like that. He's actually like Sean Carter. And so like he comes in, and it's like it's some type of festival. Maybe like I have no idea. Maybe Coachella or some shit. I don't know. And he has like a cigar in his hand or whatever like that. And he comes in like excited for this interview. He's like, yeah, you know, I've been getting texts and emails about you like all day. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm here now. and people been telling me, Pharrell told me about you. I gotta do this interview, so I trust Pharrell, so I'm doing this interview right now because he talks you up like you're a really good interviewer. So I'm excited about this. And then so he, how Nardwuar, like he asks like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
And Jay-Z, he responds saying, well, I'm a kid. I come from like the Marcy Projects. I did this, I did that, and shit like that. And so Nardwuar was looking at him like, well, no, like, who are you? I'm like, oh, I'm Jay-Z. And then so pretty much the thing about Jay-Z was he overthought the entire interview. And kind of caught him off guard. And then pretty much like the whole interview was pretty much shit that Jay-Z has kind of said over the years about, like, if you go on the back of the Jazzo cover and that the jewels that Jazzo had on and Jay-Z had on, they were all Jay-Z's. Mm-hmm. So, and stuff like that. I mean, but it's just like seeing Sean Carter and not seeing Jay-Z. That's the main thing about it.
That's what Nardwuar does too. Like, I was just about to bring up that Nardwuar interview with Lil Wayne.
Yeah, that's one of the best Nardwuar interviews I've seen.
Yo, that shit, like, that lets you know Lil Wayne knows his shit. And, like, it lets you see the process, because people see Lil Wayne at the end, but they don't see the process that it takes to get to that level. And Lil Wayne knows his shit. Like, he's very intelligent about what the fuck he does. And it kind of reminds me, I was thinking about intelligence, and there's different types of intelligence. And for some reason, me and my mother were talking about was it me and my mother? It had to be me and my mother. I'm trying to think. I don't know how we got on this topic, but it had something to do with Floyd Mayweather not being able to read, right? Mm-hmm. And how Charlemagne did him or whatever, and exposed that he couldn't read, whatever. But Floyd Mayweather knows his shit when it comes to his shit. Like, he's the best at what he does, and he studied it for years and years, and he's a master. And like, Lil Wayne is a master at what he does, and that shit really came out in that Nardwuar interview more than anything else. Like, and that in addition to that Carter documentary, like, Lil Wayne knows his shit. Like, he's on it.
Yeah. So do you think the Carter documentary is like in like one of your top documentaries you've seen, like hip hop documentaries all time?
I'm trying to think. Hold on. Let me think. I don't know how many hip-hop documentaries I've seen, and then some of it depends on what you consider to be a documentary. Like, do you consider the show to be a documentary?
I've been thinking about the show and Fade to Black. I'm not, because it's just them showing the concert pretty much in behind the scene. I don't really count that. Because when I think of it, okay, well, when I think of a documentary, I think of it being really introverted, mm-hmm, and really focusing on the mind of a group of people or a person. And they don't really do that. It's just really them just being, the kids backstage for the most part.
Now, I think Backstage was a good documentary.
I don't think I've seen Backstage.
It's on. I think it should be on Netflix. The show, the show is more of like a tour joint. Like, it's more of like showing performances, but like a little bit of documentary-ish type stuff. In terms of hip hop documentaries, I would say that's definitely in my top 5, maybe my top 3. I would have to say the Carter documentary. I would have to say The Art of Rap by Ice-T.
I have yet to see that one.
It's long as shit, but
yeah, here's good though.
It's good, like it's just like it's one of them feel good type joints. Like I don't know, it just makes you just love hip hop, like the way niggas rapping and they break down their bars and how they care about it and everything like that. Like it's pretty good. Trying to think what other hip hop documentary is there.
I mean, there's quite a bit, but yeah, I don't think we've seen too many hip hop documentaries like that.
Because like a lot of hip hop quote unquote documentaries are just niggas on YouTube, and then I mean like a lot of people have webisodes that front as documentaries.
No, Wu-Tang, didn't they have a documentary?
I did buy that Wu-Tang. Damn, I bought some Wu-Tang DVD one time, and then I gave it to your brother, and I never saw it since. And I remember I liked it, but I don't remember what the fuck it was.
I think that was a show.
Yeah, I think it was a show. I don't think that was a documentary. I'm trying to think. There aren't too many hip-hop documentaries out there. And, you know what's crazy? An idea I was just thinking about is doing a documentary on battle rap. But that's a whole nother thing to talk about. Like, it's a whole nother idea that I have to talk about off air. But, yeah.
I mean, well, actually, I have another documentary idea, but me and you, we've been talking about this for a while, though.
What's that?
I don't want to say it.
Okay.
We have some we have some Baltimorean listeners, so I don't want to put it out there.
Alright. Oh man, damn, I gotta send you that shit from the light rail too. That shit was crazy. I ain't even tell you about that shit, I don't think. I'm gonna just send it to you. I ain't gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna just send it to you. Man, I don't think people understand. Like, I've been going through, not even going through, but yo, my life is crazy. Like, crazy random shit just happens all the time. Like, I walk out the door and a nigga is having a seizure and like right on my car. Like right in front of my house on the grass.
That's that Baltimore shit, man.
That's that Baltimore shit. Then today, it's a fucking cat. Yo, a blind cat. Nigga, I'm leading a blind cat around the block.
I mean, man.
I don't think niggas really understand what's going on right now. Like, earlier today, I'm trying to wash clothes and shit. I gotta get ready for my life and work and shit. Nigga, it's a blind cat with flies on him and shit. Like he's some type of dude from an African infomercial talking about send money.
Oh, man.
A fucking blind ass, crying ass cat. Follow me around. And I'm sitting up here getting bit by mosquitoes for an hour because I don't want to leave this cat here.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the cat, though. He got a good home, hopefully.
Yeah. Shit, man. We could just have a conversation about Baltimore moments. Like, when I was on the bus stop and that woman told me that, you remember this shit? The woman, she had like yellow eyes. You can tell she was like on some type of drug or whatever like that. And she said that she was going to come through my window at night and take my soul.
Did you tell me that shit?
Yeah, I did. It was a while ago.
You know what? We've been talking about having my girl on the podcast a while ago, but then she said she didn't want to do it. But I think we do a Baltimore Moments podcast. We definitely got to have her on there. I'm going to make sure that she does that shit because she has some shit to tell.
Well, we're still we're still working on our first guest anyway, so. Might as well.
Man. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting to add somebody else to the mix every once in a while and see what's going on. Drop a couple times a week. Maybe we can get up to Fighter and the Kid numbers.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, and we do need a feminine touch to the podcast every now and again.
Yeah. But, man, like, it's just bugged out. Like, how the fuck I'm leaving to go pick my mom up from work, and it's a nigga having a seizure on the ground, like, in front of my house. And, like, the neighbors, they got, like, fucking, I don't even know if it's in the picture I sent you, but niggas put their cups and shit on the car. Like, I'm trying to get in the car to drive away, and I leave the house to drive away, and it's a nigga having a seizure. It's a fire truck, an ambulance comes. Like, where they do that? Why do you pick this spot here? Why does this cat pick this spot here to have babies, to have this blind cat follow me around? Why do niggas choose to get shot right here in front of my house? Why do niggas want to either start or end car chases in front of my house? You know, this is just so much crazy shit happening. And then to not be involved in crazy shit. I'm not involved in any crazy shit, but crazy shit just happens.
Yeah. Believe me, I understand. Shit.
Like, I am completely anti-fuckery at all times. But I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been involved in as much fuckery as previously in my life.
I mean, yeah, you know, it seems that way, because you don't have like much to say, you know, opening up a conversation about shit that you've gone through.
Yeah, like, you know, I've really just been chilling, because, you know, various people, one of our cousins included, they've nominated me as the king of fuckery. But, like, I really don't do shit. Only thing I do is bring people together. And then when I don't know, you bring the wrong people together sometimes. Believe I was a part of a couple of them. I bring people together, and then things happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That's one thing as I move through life and hip hop and whatever the fuck else happens. I just want everybody to know that I'm anti-fuckery.
I mean, well, I will say sometimes, you know, you kind of miss a certain element. You know, I guess it's all about balance and everything like that. You start to, well, I guess with me, I guess I'm just missing the busyness of city life. You know, being here, you don't get much of that. And it's kind of...
Now, do you feel like you remember when you came back from New York and you came back to Baltimore?
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way coming from Baltimore to Norman?
Yeah. Because, like, you know, I came back toward the end of spring, winter break, and the winter break was still in session by the time I came back here. And, you know, I came from, you know, I guess the busyness of people being in and out the house, you know, my mother, you know, Kenny doing what he do, being out in the streets, every day, trucking different places and then coming back, and it's just, you know, I have my place now. It's just me, and you know, there's nothing going on outside except for cats, you know, fucking around at night. So yeah, it was the contrast was pretty striking.
Do you ever see yourself? Cause like, I don't know. I'm conflicted, and this is like a whole nother random ass tangent. But like, you know, I'm conflicted on my, I guess my values and beliefs or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, I love the urban life. I love city life. But like, not like how Baltimore is and like a lot of places, but like, I guess maybe like a Fells Point or like a, you know, that type of thing. Or like, I don't know if you ever came out to, I was bringing you to Adams Morgan in D.C.
Once. I think around the time of the Obama thing, the march, the 50th anniversary.
Oh, yes, right. That's right. We walked around and everything. Yeah. So like, when I talk about urban life, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like, I love this, like a good city life. But then also, I have these fantasies and ideals of a rural life, of like growing my own food and just living in solitude and just doing my thing out in nature. Like, riding bikes through the mountains, meditating and watching the sunset and all that type of hippy-dippy shit.
Right.
And then, you know, dealing with my girl, then there's the whole thing of, she kind of has more so the suburban type of thing, and being in like a mixed community of races and like all this other type of thing and all of that type stuff, and you know, living in like a nice suburban type of area, like a nice comfortable type of existence like that.
Mhm.
And it's like, you know, all these things seem kind of cool. I think at least right now in my life I gravitate more towards the urban type of thing, and maybe like growing some food somehow urbanly, which I need to get into soon. I want to start growing some carrots, and I want to start growing some cucumbers and things like that. But I guess, like, what type of life do you gravitate towards in terms of that?
I mean, I think overall I gravitate towards an urban life because, you know, I've been in a rural atmosphere, being in college and stuff like that. I'm practically in suburbia now. And I mean, these things, they just don't fit me. And I think creatively, to a certain extent, I know that I get my life, my creativity from an urban setting. Now, of course, I'm not really saying the typical urban setting that people may think of. Not exactly saying that, but just the idea that there's concrete. You don't gotta worry about patches of dirt randomly. Right. And like here, and I mean, like, you know, like lack of street lights and stuff like that. It's something about the aura of like having street lights on at night and just certain things going on. Just like, I mean, it's more or less, I guess, like the culture that's created around the type of urban environment that we're thinking about that gives me a certain type of jolt, I guess, in a way, which is something that I'm lacking right now.
And you know what? I feel you. Like, I feel that way a lot of times, but then sometimes, like, you know, I just think of I just think to the times when I've been in a more rural environment without that shit, and like just being able to like go out and look at the stars and shit like that. I know this just sound mad corny, but like to just go out and this is nothing but like crickets and like the sound of nature, and you just out there just by yourself, and it's just nothing else. Like I think there's something to that too, and just looking at the sky. Like sometimes, like I don't know if you ever get this feeling, like you ever look at the ocean and you just get that feeling of being small.
Yeah.
Like when you're not around the city lights, you can look at the sky and kind of get that same feeling sometimes too. And it's like I want that feeling, but I also want that whole urban type, I guess you would say Upper West Side, New York, Manhattan type of vibe too, like loft type shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but see, I think the thing about me and nature is that, you know, since I was a Boy Scout and a Cub Scout, I've had the opportunities for, you know, several summers to, you know, I guess kind of be in that type of atmosphere. And I don't know, maybe it was like a cross between, like sometimes I didn't want to like go for a summer or half the summer to these places. And the fact that, you know, I'm an urban dude, so I think the mixture of both of these things kind of cancel each other out in a way, and so it just really wasn't exactly for me. Because I think with me, especially like being, you know, I guess a historian in training, that although I'm very much an introvert, I do get aware energy from people, and so I observe people. I try to understand what they do, try to understand society, period. And I think that if I'm just standing there looking at the stars, after a while, I'm just going to be like, okay, what, then what? So what? I need to see people moving and, you know, what they're doing, I think after a while. And that's why I'm not really into sci-fi and stuff like that as much. So I think like a lot of times, like people who are like kind of into sci-fi in a way, they tend to be more into, you know, like nature and looking at stars and stuff like that and being away. Although me, I want to be away, but kind of like make my own world inside this urban setting where people are walking up and down every 5 minutes.
I think that's interesting because, like, I don't know, like, I guess I consider myself into sci-fi, even though I'm not really into sci-fi, but I love Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I love, like, the possibility of what can be. But then I also have this thing, like, I love technology and scientific advances and everything, but then at the same time I shun it because I feel like, you know, we need to get back to nature and all that type of stuff. So it's like a weird dichotomy with me. But, like, I guess, you know, the times I've spent in rural atmospheres and stuff like that, I've really appreciated. And then the times that I've spent in urban areas that I like, I really appreciate it as well. Like, I love being in, you know, certain urban, like I love being in New York. I love like the lights and the city and everything, hustling and bustling and everything like that. And like, I don't know if you ever did this when you were in New York. Like, me and my homegirl in New York, we used to just people watch. Like, we would just sit, like, you might sit in the McDonald's in Manhattan and just watch people go by. And, like, if somebody interesting looking walks by, you might, like, create, like, a whole story in your mind. And, you know, we would go, like, back and forth and create, like, this whole thing of, like, what they might be doing or something like that. But, like, I don't know, to me there's something about being in nature that's just different and it's just it can be even something like driving through nature. Like, I remember driving to West Virginia and driving to Ohio and going through the mountains and everything, and then like going to the Eastern Shore, where the beach life, and just knowing like some of the science behind it, and like how the mountains are formed and how the beach is formed and everything like that, and just like looking at it and just like detailing it and thinking about it. And I don't know, I just had this weird thing of trying to figure out where I want to be, if that makes any sense.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think like the difference between like because I think like between me and you, it seems like because you've done like certain like a lot of things way before me, but I think the difference between me and you is that in these certain places I've been in there for like extended periods of time, where as though like when you would go somewhere, it would be like an urban setting, and you would be there for like a specific amount of time.
Yeah.
So I think like with me, like being in LA, like, and really like seeing like that beach life and how it is, it's, and like seeing like going to Venice Beach, and I mean it's really interesting. It's the first time I really got to see like a true hippie. I got to see like I got to see like a real like true hippie, and then I got to see like a true Rastas, like true Rastas like in Hollywood and on Venice Beach that were with the hippies, and then at the same time you get to see like the bodybuilding culture. Like there's so much going on there. So they have like this, weird, like this whole like little small section of like weights and stuff like that, and you pay like I think like $5 or whatever it is to go in there all day. And these people are just bodybuilding like all day or whatever like that, it seems. Then you have the skateboarding culture. And then I guess you have some type of weird bikini culture. But then you have all this going on. Mind you, it's only like maybe like 65 degrees outside. It's pretty cold outside to be going in water. And then you look up and you see like I'm not entirely sure the mountains. I think it's over the Rockies, maybe the Colorado Rockies. Maybe you see these big ass mountains that have snow on top of them. Now that shit was kind of crazy. Like all this is going on right here, but then you see these big ass mountains with snow on top of them. And they aren't that far away. So I think like nature-wise, to me, outside of like seeing like being like in the middle of a hurricane or being like in the middle of like a tornado here, I think that was the most striking experience I've ever had with nature. Like seeing the mountains that had snow on top of them that was so close, but yet I was over here on the beach. But at the same time, though, like I think like being in the middle, like being in the woods, like climbing mountains and shit, like how I was forced to do, and getting my wilderness survival merit badge and stuff like that, I think it kind of turned me off to nature to a certain extent. And because a lot of times when I'm in those situations, I want to go back home anyway. Yeah. And it's I don't know, but I think to me also creatively, the urban setting really it just speaks to me, because I observe a lot. I observe a lot, and you can observe a lot in nature, but it's something about I guess just seeing how people live and stuff like that to a certain extent, or how people create over top of nature at the same time. So concrete, how they build, these massive buildings within, 3-4 months' time and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that goes to one of the big differences between you and me is that, and this is something I realized when even you went to New York and we were talking, and it's that you get. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you get kind of homesick sometimes, right? I think
I'm not entirely sure what it is, because I'm to the point now that I'm not sure. I'm trying to realize if it's homesickness, like at least right now, if it's homesickness being like not being around family, or is it more so me not being in urban culture? I will say like right now it's a mixture of both, but then I mean, because I've had talks with my mother about this, and if you really think about it, you know, I've been gone since 2009 pretty much. I haven't really stayed home. The longest period of time I stayed home was like this past 2 summers ago now. I was home for about a month. Other than that, I really haven't been home like that.
Cause like I haven't really been as far as you, but like I've kind of been away for a minute, and like I don't get homesick, like, and I guess, you know, I guess it comes from me being like younger, and you know, when I was little, like, it's like as far back as I can remember, like maybe 6-7 years old, my whole goal was to get the fuck out of this place. And I think maybe, I don't know, I guess maybe, you know, like some of that comes, you know, from my father being in New York. And like, you know, I used to go to New York and I would see the difference.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I can't be here. Like, this shit is fucked up. Like, I just cannot be here. And so, like, every time I leave, it's like, yo, you know, no matter where I'm at, no matter how long I'm at, I guess no matter how long I'm there, like, I don't feel like I ever have to come back, like, and you know, it's funny because we were just talking about, and I just talked about how, like, I feel like I got to rep Baltimore and all this other type of shit.
Yeah.
But, like, deep inside, when I'm away from here, I'm like, man, fuck this place. Like, like, yo, fuck this shit. Like, fuck it. I'm gone. And it's kind of like how 50 Cent said, and, you know, it was kind of a big deal when he said it at the time, because I guess people weren't, I don't know, I feel like the general consciousness of our community, whatever it is, hip hop, black people, whatever you want to call it, you know, our consciousness wasn't to this level yet when 50 Cent said it. 50 Cent said, fuck the hood. Like, fuck the hood. And it's like, you know, at a certain point, it's like, how could you ever say that? How dare he say that? Fuck the hood. But, yeah, like, yeah, nigga, fuck that shit. Like, nobody want to be in the fucking hood. Like, fuck it. You know, niggas don't want to come back to that shit, nigga. Like, so that's kind of like the view I always had. It's like, nigga, fuck this shit. Like, fuck it. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel that. I have a different thing, because I think it kind of goes back into, like, you know, the difference when it comes to, because I think between me and you, like, you traveled way earlier than what I did also. Yeah. So, you know, I think, you know, we've talked about it. You know, you were going to New York, and you were bringing back 50 Cent mixtapes and Clue mixtapes that, you know, I never knew really existed, and stuff like that, when you would come back from New York. And, you know, like, one of my biggest things in life was, you know, I always wanted to travel, and I'm getting the opportunity to do it now. You know, I started around 22, so I really haven't traveled for that long. But you know, it's like but it's like a certain element, and it's not. And I was thinking about it. It's not so much like just urban setting. It's more so like it's a mixture of the culture of the city and the culture of my family. So, you know, being around you, my brother, my mother, you know, Kenny, sure, you know, your mother, being around these different people who have honed who I am, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to step out and go into these different types of cultures and being able to stand in them, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like sometimes I'm like Birdman, you know, I gotta go back to the sun to recharge. And so
yeah, you know what's crazy? It's like, you know, when I used to be out in DC and I'll come back to Baltimore, like even though I just said all that shit about fuck it and all that other type of shit, yo, when I used to come back and I would drive down, I think I told you this before, I would drive down 83 going to downtown and I would see the lights of downtown and it just gave me like a certain type of feeling like when I was coming back, like, yeah, 83 South. And that's another thing, like Baltimore-wise, like nobody's ever said 83 South, like, when you out there, like yo, when you out in the boondocks somewhere, like even when we out in Pennsylvania, because you know I used to make my Pennsylvania runs quite often, and you know when you come 83 South, like you know that's Baltimore, because 83 ends in Baltimore. So like 83 South, like that's where the fuck we at. 83, like 83. Excuse me. Oh, but like, and I realized this talking to like my girl is like our family is so varied.
Yeah.
So it's like, a situation happened with her at work to where her department had a potluck and before they started eating, somebody said something about, you know, is everybody here? Something about basically the dude was like, and I wish, you know, we gotta get her on the show because I talk about her, but she needs to really explain this shit. But basically, it was basically like, yo, we need to pray over this food or whatever. And you know, everybody was like, oh yeah, that's right, you know, we need to pray over the food. And this is a potluck at work. So I guess she, you know, my girl is a Christian, so you know, we've had conversations and like I've explained to her, I guess, you know, me being atheist or whatever. I sent her this podcast from the Thinking Atheist, and it was about people coming out as atheists and about this basically all the struggles and everything that people who are atheists kind of go through with their families and stuff like that. So I don't know if this had an effect or if this like made her think a certain way or she just did it on her own or you know whatever but you know she was like I remember after sending it to her she was like you know she had never really thought about this but after he said that he was like, well, hold on, is everybody here religious or whatever? And like pretty much everybody said, yeah. And everybody's a Christian except one person who kind of like shook her head but didn't want to like shake her head in front of everybody. And so, you know, my girl really took the lead and was like, you know, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, this is inappropriate, blah, blah, blah. And she pretty much shut the whole shit down. And, where the fuck was I going with this? Where I start? I found it being varied. And so, like, the conversation then, so she asked me what I thought about that, and I was like, you know, I don't think that was appropriate at work. And she was like, yeah, because, you know, if she felt offended, she could go to HR about that. And I'm like, yeah. And, you know, I was kind of glad that she did that, you know, in the face of her belief, she was able to, respect everything else that was going on. And I thought that was dope. And like the conversation that we had went into, you know, it's different being at work than being in family. Because in family, you know, like if I'm around her family, I kind of got to go with what they go with or whatever. I'm like, yeah, you know, as a minority in the culture or whatever, you kind of have to follow the customs of the dominant culture. So I was explaining to her, like, in our family, you know, we have our events and everything, and we might get into a prayer circle, but it's always like me, you, and George. you know, your brother, and you know, when everybody has their head down, we have our head up.
Yeah.
And just kind of look around.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, it just made me, like, kind of appreciate, like, the things in our family that we're all so varied that we can all just kind of, I mean, you know, every family has issues and everything, but, you know, we can all just kind of be cool and all kind of go with everything and be all right.
Yeah, man.
We have our hardcore religious people, and then we have me, you, and your brother.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, you would think because me, you, and your brother, you know, we're kind of close, and you would think that we all kind of, like, influence each other's views. And we all kind of do in a certain way, I guess, but we really came to everything independently.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I think all three of us, we're all different in our own way, and you know, I mean, because I think of it, I think we've all, me, you, and him, we've all had like this one period, you know, kind of like how Jesus had his lost years.
Yeah.
Where we just had this one period where we just weren't around each other, and it really molded us. So when we came back, we were, you know, kind of different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think with George, that was Virginia.
Mm.
I mean, shit, my brother, that was Virginia.
I already said it, but
yeah.
Like, I mean, for me, like, you know, I was probably like, you know, I was going to Catholic school from kindergarten to 4th grade. But I kind of got rid of, like, I kind of became an atheist when I was in 3rd grade, I believe. It was like around that time, I was like, oh, this shit is stupid to me. And then I felt the urge to hide it. And I don't know how long I hid it. I probably hid it till I was like, maybe like in my teenage years or whatever. Because I didn't know how people would react, so it's kind of like you're in the closet with it. But even then, it wasn't that bad, like, you know, just other people's stories. And, like, my story, it's not that bad. Like, you know, I say all kind of wild, crazy shit to my mother about it or whatever. And, you know, we talk about it kind of a little bit sometimes or whatever. But I just... And, like, people who know me, you know, like you know, I just say wild shit sometimes. So,
yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, me and my girl, you know, of course we're very close, but, you know, I have to kind of tone that down and, you know, respect everything that she is into. But it's kind of funny because, you know, my mother, she's, you know, because I asked her the other day, you know, I was like, you know, do you believe in Jesus and all that type of stuff? And she, you know, basically said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I say wildly offensive things that, you know, any Christian would just just be appalled and consider me some type of Satanist and just say I'm going to hell and not want to ever speak to me ever again. And it's like sometimes, you know, I have to realize the circle that I'm in and realize that I can't be saying that type of shit. And I don't remember what point I was trying to make in the beginning. I guess it was about our family and how varied we are. And how, even though we all different, we can all kind of come together and shit.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. But, you know, I think even, like, something I guess is, like, a bit more simple than that is, you know, like, when you're, like, out here, you know, you're out in Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, I'm in a way more different, I'm in a totally different culture. There are no black people around.
Right.
And that's one thing, you know, like, you know, my two close friends, you know, we bonded over the fact that we're from Baltimore and we lived close to each other and we had, like, the same experiences. Right, you know, and now I guess in some of our most, you know, most important years, development-wise. And this is how we're close today. And then, you know, we added on to that, going through different experiences in college. Like being here, you know, I'm, you know, making different connections and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm 3,000 miles away from my home. And I think simply just coming home to, coming back to something that you can say that's yours, can sometimes it can be like a really powerful thing. So, you know, because like when the riots happened, I think I fully realized like why people say this is my city. You know what I'm saying? Like you have New Yorkers say this is my city or anywhere, you know, and how, you know, I think on the 2 episodes I went on and on about I hope they didn't touch Lexington and Market. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
The experiences I've had that, you know, you have shared that, you know, me, you and my brother, me and my mother, me and my stepfather, me and my mother and my stepfather, all these experiences that have built up from when I was like 4, you know, on to being 20, going on 25. And possibly seeing that institution, that memory, washed away within a matter of an hour or 45 minutes. Just crazy. Just fucked with me. And I've had, you know, like, that was like kind of a tumultuous period, that 1 week, or week and a half, because the only thing I was thinking about for real is that, you know, like, they're fucking up pharmacies, it was fucking up old people, well, I shouldn't say old people, that's kind of senior citizens and how they got their medicine to keep on surviving. And Lexington Market, you know.
And these are all things that we've dealt with.
Yeah. And I mean, go ahead.
Even before all that, I was going to say, you know, me, I guess, you know, experiencing the world and traveling a little bit more than you, not more than you, but earlier than you. You know, you've traveled further and wider than I have, but, you know, by me going to Howard, I kind of got a little bit of knowledge about different places, I guess, from different people. And so, like, certain places I haven't necessarily been to, but I feel like I've been to because, like, even my job now, you know, we might do some shit that has something to do with something that's in some city, and I'm like, oh, I know somebody that went to that high school or something like that, but or you know, I know a little something about the culture that goes on there, and like, you know, throughout my travels, I've like even being in one place, like being in DC and being around people from different places, you deal with the stereotypes of people from Baltimore. And, you know, like how I was talking about before with the music, that Baltimore pride that comes when people talk shit about where you come from, like, that shit gets to me sometimes because I feel like this is my city and I can talk shit about the shit that goes on here and I can talk about whatever, but you can't come and be disrespectful. So, you know, most of the girls I've talked to are not from Baltimore or whatever. And a lot of them have said things like, you know, I don't mess with people from Baltimore or whatever, but, you know, you're different or whatever. Like, no, I'm not different. Like, I'm from all that shit that you don't like or you hate or whatever that you had a bad experience with. So don't talk shit about, you know, my city and my people because you know, as much as I say fuck this place and fuck these people and everything like that, I still feel like, you know, these are my people and I still want everybody to do well and everything like that. So it's like, you're not going to come talk shit to me about my city and my people, you know?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, the thing about, you know, I guess our various relations that we've had with various people and how we're considered different, that may be kind of true, but I think if they put, you know, me, you, my brother, and they mix us three with our various people that we just personally, that we know just by ourselves and put them all together, they will probably see a whole different type of person.
Yeah.
And so I always think about that, and, you know, I mean, and I think we each experienced that with certain people that we were dealing with, you know, just being like, you know, if it was me and my brother around you, when you had someone, or me and, or, you know, me and whoever I was dealing with, you know, around you and him, or whatever like that. So yeah, I think it's something totally different than we add our friends into it. It's a whole different story.
It's like, you know, I've brought people from California to Baltimore. I brought people from New York to Baltimore. I brought people from PG and DC to Baltimore. I brought people from different places to Baltimore. And a lot of times, and then, you know, people from the Caribbean to Baltimore and everything like that. And they just start talking shit. And it's like they don't see me as from here because, you know, I might, you know, reveal that I was born in D.C., whatever. Like, nah, I was raised here. Like, even though, you know, D.C. is a home to me, New York is a home to me, even Philly is a home to me, but Baltimore is my, you know, one home where I was raised. And it's like, you know, you come here talking that shit to me, like, nah, fuck that. I'm about to set you straight. Like,
yeah.
And that's just what it is.
I think that's the difference between me and you because, you know, you've had various connections with different people who come from different places. Whereas though me, not as much, like not to the point where, you know, I think I can like really stay at someone's house all like that. And so a lot of my connections are all throughout, I guess, pretty much throughout the DMV. If it's not totally in Baltimore, but still in the general area. But, you know, like, I mean, it was just funny, you know, like, you know, the summer before I came here when I was just back home, you know, toward the end, I was just through. Like, you know, I just couldn't take it no more, just being in the city and dealing with certain things. I was just, like, through with it. But then I come here, I'm doing this and that. And then, you know, my winter break, when I come home, like, you know, like the same block I was walking down, to, you know, to catch the bus or whatever like that, it was the same block I was walking down or either up, being fed up with this shit. And when I came home and I went back to, you know, the place I work at, I was pretty happy. And it's just like even when I was in college, you know, like when I set my first foot on the concrete where I live, it's a certain energy I feel. Like, and like even when we were crossing the bridge, when we get over the bridge,
Oh yeah.
And it's just like a certain. It's like
once you cross that bridge.
Yeah, and it's like, and I always take like a deep breath, but sometimes I don't even notice. Like I don't even notice I'm taking this deep breath. It's just you just know your surroundings. I think you just know everything. You know your surroundings. You know what you're going to get into. You know how it is up the street. You know how it is around the corner. You know the people who are around you, for the most part. And but the thing is though, I mean, I think it's really more or less a balance. Like after a while, I got kind of tired. I got tired of Baltimore after like almost a year, and New York. By the time I got used to it, it was time to go, and that was 6 weeks. LA, I was ready to go after 2 months. That was just too long for me.
I mean, the thing about New York, to me, is like, too often when I've gone there, especially in more recent years, I go for like a specific purpose. So it's like, I'm going there for what I'm going there for, and I leave. And like, every time I go there, like, certain places, in my mind, they get associated with hustle. So it's like, New York, I'm going there to hustle. But, I think back to the times when I had the down moments and I was just chilling. Like, I go to the movies, I go to the flea market, I go to the West Indian parade, I go to like different type of shit, and I'm just like chilling, like, yeah, like, it always kind of like, I guess I think back to my youth, and, it always seems like home to me. And like, when we talk about certain things in hip-hop, like when we talk about Jay-Z Volume 3, when I heard that, it was on cassette. And it's because, I walked to the library in Queens, and they had cassettes there. And I had a library card in Queens, and I went there and I checked out that fucking tape. And I brought the tape back to my, my father's crib, and I listened to the tape, and that's how I got my shit. Like, so it's like, when I talk about certain things in hip-hop, especially like New York hip-hop, I kind of feel it like a certain attachment to it, like I'm from New York, because certain things I experienced while I was in New York, or like, 50 Cent. Like, you talk about 50 Cent that's coming. I was in middle school, and I was hearing that shit, and I had like the CDs, and I would bring them back or whatever. And I swear, I'm probably like one of the first dudes in Baltimore. I was like maybe like fucking 10 years old. I had 50 Cent shit, and I was like, yo, 50 Cent. I was telling niggas like Jay-Z was telling niggas. I was telling yo, 50 Cent is coming.
Yeah. I mean, like, like being in these different places, and I think all the places that I've been in for like a I guess a rather long period of time, they have their distinct culture.
Right.
And LA has it. And then even in LA you have, your Hollywood, although Hollywood is a different thing, but if you think of LA, you think of Hollywood, you think of Sunset Strip. All that, these are all three different things pretty much. You go to New York, you have your Manhattan, your Staten Island. Pretty much I've been to three. I didn't make it to the Bronx or Queens. But that's the thing about how deep this hip hop shit runs, because I originally had no business going to Staten Island, but I really made sure that I went because Wu-Tang came from Staten Island, so I just wanted to go there. Because other than that, I mean, there wasn't anything for me really to do, for real.
And see, the thing is, my father used to take me on the ferry to Queens. I mean, not to Queens, to Staten Island. And we would just go on the ferry and come back, but I never experienced Staten Island at all.
Right, I mean, what? Oh, yeah.
Like driving to New York, I used to go over the Verrazano and the Gold Thaws. I don't know how you pronounce that shit, but, I would drive over these bridges and these highways over Staten Island, but I would never stop there, so I don't know shit about Staten Island. And then when I was younger, my father, he would take me everywhere in New York, but he would say, we're not going to the Bronx, because there's no business to ever be in the Bronx.
Yeah, that's what I was told about the Bronx, because I was trying to talk someone into taking me, and she said that she would, but she really didn't want to because she was kind of afraid, and I was like, well, if you feel that way, then I'm not going to do it.
Yes, I think I've only really stopped in the Bronx a couple times, but one time I went, and I got this haircut by these Dominicans. It was like the last stop on like, what's it, the ACE or the 123? One of them joints. Like the last stop on one of them trains, and there was like this fucking Dominican barbershop, and they cut my hair so good for like $12. And that shit was crazy. Like, they lean you back in the chair and do all kind of crazy shit. It's like one of the best haircuts I ever had in my life. And that was like one of my Bronx experiences. But yeah, certain places I guess you just don't go. But like, even in Queens, like, in Queens, you know, where I used to be, like the block where I was, it was kind of like our block was for a minute when we were growing up. I guess not like that anymore, but it was like that block was nice, but everything around it was horrible.
Yeah.
And like, you know, my father, we would walk certain places, and like we would walk over this vacant lot type thing in Queens. And years later, I found out that shit is a fucking mafia burial ground. Like, what?
Man, like, when I went to, like, because for some reason, like, in my group, there were some people who wanted to go to the Bronx. But see, the thing about me was, like, when I went to New York, and my first time being there, and, you know, it was a memorable moment when, you know, you traveled with me there. You took me, like, Times Square and shit like that. And out of all times in Times Square, we got to see Harlem 6. and shit like that, you know.
And you know what's crazy is, like, certain people that's never been to New York, I tell them about it. But, like, I guess you can attest to this. You don't really know until you hopped off that bus or that train right there on, like, either on 42nd Street or on 34th Street. But, you know, when you right there and you see that shit, it's a whole nother thing. And like, can't nobody really tell you about it. like you really gotta go.
I mean, see, that's the same. It's the same thing with in New York and LA. Like when you first get out of that train station, that airplane, that plane station. Mm-hmm. You're stepping into a whole different world. Like I thought New York was crazy when I remember that shit like clearly. I took my first step.
Everything.
Yeah, that first step out of Central Station. I looked around. I was like, "Oh, but this shit is like it's nothing. It's like 5 times bigger than Baltimore. It was just Baltimore. It's big. Everything about it is big, man. Like that Manufresh song. The Manufresh song. Just everything big.
Yeah, everything big.
And then when I took my first step out of LAX, it's everything you see in the fuck. It's nothing but palm trees and niggas are chilling, even in the station. Like no one is really like trying to like fight down a cab or whatever like that. Everything is just laid back. You just throw out your hand real quick and the cab just comes to you.
Damn.
But see, the thing about New York was like people wanted to go, like, they just wanted, like, to experience everything about New York, or, like, I guess, like the Statue of Liberty and so on and so forth. But I had specific things about New York I wanted to see. I wanted to see Wall Street, and then, like, going to see, but I had to see it by myself, and then going to see Wall Street, it led me to the Indian Museum that I discovered that I never knew existed.
Yeah.
And then that same day, I realized I was by the ferry, and I forgot how I realized that. But me going to Staten Island was like really kind of like an organic thing. I didn't intend to go. And I was like, well, I gotta go because of Wu-Tang. So I just hopped on a ferry and went there. And I happened to have a cigar on me. I just walked around with a cigar and shit. And I just sat there and I walked around a little bit, but then when niggas, like, I went to like the wrong place and people were looking at me. And so I went back out and I just started smoking, just reflecting on Wu-Tang and Shaheem and what has come out of this place for like a good hour or two before I went back on the ferry. And even, I mean, like, you know, kind of like walking through, you know, South Central kind of sort of. I wasn't the biggest West Coast fan, but at the same time, you know, just understanding the types of vibes that these people were feeling when they made certain records.
Yeah.
Was a good thing to feel.
Yeah, I mean, just being in New York, it's times when I've been in New York where, you know, I gotten lost, and I'm like, oh shit, I heard the name of this street on the MOP song. I don't need to be here right now. Fuck out of here. Like, Gates Avenue? Oh no, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I mean, but you know, it's crazy though. Like, the Big L Street. What was it? 125th and
139.
Yeah, 130. Yeah, in Lenox.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, I remember I was walking with some people, and someone said we were on such and such a Lenox. And I was like, oh my god, what? I was kind of a tourist. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what? Like, yeah, because she was from New York, and like, yeah, we're on. Is it 139 or 125th?
139th.
Yeah, 139th from Lenox, and she told me, I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is fucking crazy right now, and they didn't understand where I was going with it. I was like, this is the shit that Big L talks about, and they was like, who's Big L? So it kind of dampened my time, but then I went on 125th. The thing about 125th though is that it wasn't as, I mean, it was cool, but I feel like I get the same feeling from Saratoga Street that I get from 125th.
Like Lexington Market, like kind of like, you know, everybody just out and just selling shit or whatever, and like you just out there.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about Lexington Market. Like what you told me about, like Dan Roderick, when you said about you can just get a beer and you just talk to anybody in Lexington Market.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel sometimes when I go back.
But like, I'm trying to think. Like even like. Did you ever take a dollar van?
No. I took one of the fancy black Buick cars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. You take one of them dollar vans. That shit is like basically. And this is one thing about Baltimore. You know, Baltimore has the hack. You got the hack, man. You just put your hand out and somebody's gonna pick you up. And they're going to tell you we need to go for like $5, $10. And it's like in New York, in certain places, mostly like in Queens and Brooklyn, especially like as the subway is and out there like that, you know, you might have a dollar van. And I think it's more official now, but like back in the day, it used to be somebody just with a van who was just riding around picking people up for $1. And, you know, me and my pops used to take it all the time, but more recently, I guess, you know, I was out in New York with one of our cousins, and, you know, we went out on Jamaica Avenue, and it's like, yo, how the fuck we gonna get back? And it's like, yo, just walk to Jamaica Avenue, go to a certain spot, Dollar van pick you up, take you to the subway.
That's about to
Dollar
say.
van isn't a dollar anymore, just like a quarter water isn't a quarter. One thing you gotta know about New York. Matter of fact, I don't even think when I was little, I don't think a quarter water was a quarter. I just remember my father used to always talk about getting a quarter water, and that shit was at least 50 cents.
I say, I mean, it couldn't have been. I mean, because by that time, if I'm assuming the same thing as quarter water in New York is the same thing in Baltimore, I mean, they were like 150.
Yeah. One thing about corner stores and, the bodegas in New York is, at least when you are out in like the outer boroughs or whatever, like the bodegas are mad cheaper. Like, Manhattan is extremely expensive, but when I go to bodega, like, you can get shit for way cheaper than you can get in Baltimore. Because I think people in New York, it's like you see so many people all the time, like, you're not going for that shit. And, like, I remember I was on the train in D.C. with somebody from New York, and there was a nigga on there selling mixtapes for $5. And, like, my homie, he was like, yo, you know this shit is $250 in New York. Like, why are you trying to play me like this? And you're like, hey, yeah, you right, but, we down here right now. And that's basically how that went. So niggas ain't buy no mixtapes. And even with the hot dog vendors, like, he did the same thing with the hot dog vendor on 14th Street in D.C. It used to be the hood, but, like, now they got, like, Best Buy and Washington Sports Club and Target and all this shit right there. And they got these street vendors out there, and they selling hot dogs for exorbitant prices. And he's like, yo, this shit is like $1 in New York, right? And like, yeah, that's why I came down here so I can make more money. And it's like, man, like, and it's like, when you start to be up on shit from different places, you realize some of the bullshit that passes where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see that. I mean, because I mean, I will say one thing. Like, now, I noticed that my time in Baltimore, in between school, there were like a lot of people from Philly coming up and selling oils and shit like that. And that shit is a bit more higher than, what I can get on Saratoga Street, like the street that really matters.
Yeah.
I told some people that, and they didn't really appreciate that, but at the same time, if you're going to bog me down, like run me down and try to sell me something because I have like hair and shit, and you just know that if you put me on with the scent of your oil, I will just buy it. And it should be the same price as Saratoga. So I've told at least I think 2 or 3 people that like the same shit you're selling, I can go on Saratoga right now, which is only like a block over from here, and buy the same shit for like $4.
Let's see, they stereotype people from Baltimore as being dumb and not being up on shit, but
yeah.
It's like even Philly niggas, I guess they done got up on that New York game of coming to Baltimore and sell shit for cheaper. And that's why some old head back in the day put me on what the fuck Jay-Z said on Hard Knock Life.
Oh, Lord.
He said, I was herbing them in the home of the Terrapins. Got a dirt cheap for them, and if they was short, I would work for them. Or, no, he said, I would work with them. And
Jay said that.
Huh?
Jay-Z said that. The home of the Terrapins.
Yeah. He said, I was herbing them in the home of the Terrapins. Got a dirt cheap for them, and if they was short, I would work with them. So basically, you saying people from Maryland are broke, and you was sunning them like they some bitches, and they ain't had no bread, but you would work with them because you're the benevolent Jehovah of drug selling.
I mean, well, I just think of Baltimore. I think of Baltimore whenever someone says the home of the Terrapins.
Yeah, I know he was doing his thing on Eastern Shore or whatever, but basically, like, he basically said niggas was slow. So I was just like, man, fuck you.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm starting to embrace the Southerness of Maryland. I mean, if you look at it, it's the South, but I've been arguing for all these years about the differences between Baltimore and like that whole entire area compared to Eastern Shore.
Mhm.
Because if you split Maryland up, the bottom half is the South, the upper half I think is the North.
I would say, first off, like, I would say the South starts in PG County, not at the Mason-Dixon.
Okay.
Of course, like, even though I say that, I would put the whole Eastern Shore in the South and the Western part. Basically, Central Maryland is the North. Like, I'm trying to think. Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Harford County, Howard County, Montgomery County, and the northern half of PG County. Not even northern half, but some of PG County maybe. Is like and the rest of Maryland is the South.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Especially like Charles or St. Mary's County, because I used to know this girl from St. Mary's County, and she wasn't too much older than me, and she grew up on dirt roads. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, and I think if you even want to go like historically, and you just look at Baltimore, Baltimore wasn't like Easton, like where Frederick Douglass was born and raised for real. Baltimore was a thriving city, had a port, and things came in and came out.
In the country at one point.
Yeah, from what I'm understanding, though, it was like the biggest city at one point for like a very short period of time because of the port. And now all only thing that comes in is heroin.
Yeah, fucked up. And now that heroin is affecting Western Maryland, what? Like, I think, it's crazy. Being from Baltimore is, I didn't know half of this shit existed until like 11th grade. Like, I didn't know what the fuck PG County was. Most niggas don't know that Baltimore has Washington County.
I mean, it's funny because, like, if you think about it, like, you can.
Let's say Baltimore. I mean, Maryland has Washington County.
Yeah. I mean, you can drive Maryland within a day if you really felt like it, but just thinking about, like, geographically how, like, small it is and how long it takes to get to certain places, you're just like, God damn, this is like a big-ass country. Period.
I mean, like, Maryland is a small state, but, to get from end to end, it would take you 6-7 hours.
I mean, yeah, but it's fucking long. I mean, because you have certain countries or whatever like that where you can get to the other side in like 3 hours. And sometimes I'm just like, God damn, like we sit up here complaining about, I don't feel like driving over this bridge, go to the Eastern Shore. It's only like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, or whatever like that. So it's pretty interesting.
Like, another thing with Maryland is like just the diversity in the topography. Like, we have we really have a mountain area, and then we have a beach area. Like, we have Negro Mountain.
Did you ever ride a bike up there yet?
Not yet. Matter of fact, I'm like in the next, if not this coming week, the week like 2 weeks after this week, I'm going to get my bike. I'm going to drive out 70. I'm going to go to Negro Mountain, and I'm going to ride my bike and meditate on Negro Mountain. And I feel like I'm going to achieve some type of enlightenment.
Let's say, all right.
Just because I have to, because it's Negro Mountain.
I mean, like, I feel like now I've achieved different, well, I guess maybe not enlightenment, maybe not something that strong, but different outlooks on things, you know, like leaving for a rather long amount of time and then coming back to Baltimore. So I think that's why overall, because, you know, like, there's certain people that, I guess within our family, and they just automatically assume that I want to leave Baltimore and, like, just stay wherever I'm at, whatever, like that, or stay in Oklahoma, which I think is kind of silly. Because if you really knew me, you will understand, and I guess I understood Oklahoma, you probably understand that, you know, it's not really my type of thing.
Yeah.
You know? Because I'm to the point that, I remember at one point I said that I would want to live in New York, but at the same time, I don't think I could do it, like, you know, for a whole year. Because the thing about me is that you mentioned something about feeling smaller than what you are. Now, me personally, I don't want to feel that way. So, I think that's where, you know, me being around people comes into play. So, you know, I don't really like to see big ass hurricanes or tornadoes or whatever like that, and me feeling smaller than, like, the certain things like that, or various, you know, natural disasters. And
I mean, what's interesting is I just listened to Joe Rogan has a podcast where he's interviewing Brian Callen. It's always interesting when they get together, and I think Brian Callen was talking about how, like, when he goes to New York, it's all the hustle and bustle and everything, and you see all the people and everything like that, but he feels small and lonely because there's all this shit going on, but he's not a part of it. He's just watching it. So he gets that kind of feeling, like from what I took from what he said, was basically he gets that same type of feeling just sitting and watching everything that's going on in New York.
Well, see, it seems like I had, like, kind of like a different experience compared to other people who aren't New Yorkers who go to New York. Like, they say, like, the people in New York aren't really friendly. But in my experience, whenever I asked someone where I was, they broke out their phone or whatever they did, and they helped me out.
Yeah, people in New York will help you out. Like, I never really got that either. Like, they are way more friendly than, I'm trying to think, comparing New York to Baltimore, I feel more comfortable asking somebody something in New York than I do in Baltimore, like a random stranger.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I never really understood that, you know, like, I remember one time, like, on my way to I was trying, like, to find, like, the LP show.
Right.
Shit, I can't remember where it was, but, I asked someone, and mind you, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and this person didn't know, so he asked someone else, it was like a duo, like a gay couple, and they didn't understand, so then when someone else came by, they asked this girl, so we had 5 people figuring out the landscape of the street just for my ass. And this was like a whole thing that lasted for maybe like 10 to 12 minutes.
Damn.
I think after a while in Baltimore, that shit would have dispersed and said, oh, you on your own, homie.
Like, damn, shorty.
Yeah, like, oh, I hope you find your place. My bad.
Yeah. But like in Baltimore, I think there's something about Baltimore that people don't get from other places. Is like there's a Baltimore paranoia. Like, and you know, other people have kind of seen it in me who aren't from here. And it's funny because I don't feel like I have it as much as other people from here. But, you know, the things that, you know, are stereotypically Baltimore that I don't think I embody and other people from Baltimore probably don't think I embody, you know, when I meet people from other places, they see it more in me when it comes down to the accent or when it comes down to that paranoia to where, you know, certain things that other people might think are benign, I'm on alert. And it's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, yo, and like I might break down the situation to how like it might be set up for somebody to try to get us. And it's like, yo, you in that crazy Baltimore shit. I'm like, yo, this is some real shit.
Oh man, I've been going through that ever since I left. I've been doing that shit ever since I left Baltimore, man. That's a regular thing for me.
Like, yo, you don't see the setup right here?
Yeah, man. Like, I remember one time that I almost got set up like that. It was like a whole situation that we really almost got set up, and I figured it out. And the thing was, like, when we left, and I taught people in leaving, we were kind of like far away, but the same shit they did the same to us. They did the same shit to someone else, though. Same entire shit, but we saw walking away. But I just showed them. I said, "Look, you see that shit? You see how the two niggas they come up, they talk to you, and then somehow, some way, some two bad looking girls come up to you, and they play like they don't know these other guys who are talking to you."
Right.
Yeah. So like stuff like that, and
see,
for example.
And see, I was in a situation where it wasn't anything, but it was two bad girls, half naked. Like,
that's even worse.
Yeah, with accents. Like, they were some type of Eastern European accent. And we were on Wisconsin Avenue, I believe, in D.C. And they had some car trouble, so we pulled over to help them. And so it was some bushes around. I'm like looking around there, like, you know, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, and like, you know, I really didn't want to stop and help him because I figured this shit was like some type of setup. So I'm looking around, looking in the bushes and shit. And like afterwards, I was mad as shit. I was like, yo, don't ever do no shit like that. Like, yo, this is a setup. Like, this could have been a setup. They could have got us. Nigga was like, yo, man, you on that crazy Baltimore shit. Like, hell yeah, I'm on that crazy Baltimore shit. This shit looked like a setup to me. You got these two half-naked girls just out the blue having car trouble. Can't put some gas, you know, they ran out of gas or whatever. And they, you know, speak broken English because they're from Eastern Europe or whatever. Like, shit just don't seem right to me.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Coming from here, you learn to like analyze every situation and, you know, look at the possibilities of what may happen and all that other type of stuff.
I mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, but the crazy thing here is, like, at least for me, certain things that might look crazy other places don't look crazy here to me.
Yeah. Like, you know, I think I mentioned this, you know, like being in Camden and, you know, someone will say, oh, isn't this horrible? And I'm like, well, this looks pretty nice, actually. Like, shit like that, man. But, like, being here and, you know, like here, everything is, like, on one floor. So, you know, there's no, like, upstairs or anything like that. But at least, like, well, you know, in houses in Baltimore, they're row houses, they're all, like, stuck together, but you can go upstairs, so, you know, you never really think there's, like, a nigga crazy enough to climb up and come to your shit if you have your window open like in the summertime. But like here, you know, it's like everything's on one floor, whatever like that. And I have this paranoia about having these windows open. And so I only have one window open here, but it's like at a certain angle. And that I looked outside, and that if someone really wanted to get into, they could, but they'll have to like try really hard. And then if they do come in, I would hear them coming in because they'll have to knock like all my dishes on the floor and shit like that. So I'll be like really aware. This is like the only only window I ever open. Other than that, I can't open any other window because I'll be super paranoid. And then like even like having my door open, I've tried it, and one time I said, no, fuck this, man. Like I can't be on this shit. I open my door, I go in the kitchen, I'm washing dishes and doing other things, and every like 5 minutes I will like go out, like I will like come out of the kitchen. Go all in the living room, look outside and shit. Look in the windows. Or if I would hear something, like I hear like fucking like leaves crunching and shit, I'll hurry up and go out. And it used to be a fucking cat just in my field, like in my garden. And it just fucks with me to the point that I just had to close the door after a while. I just can't do it.
Now see, I'm not. You know, weird thing with me is, I'm not that paranoid with certain things. Like, I guess because we're here and everybody's the same type of way, like when it comes to locking doors. Like, yeah. Sometimes that shit is mad inconvenient. Like, especially if you don't have a button on your car to like unlock the door. Yeah. Like, fuck it. Everybody knows how everybody thinks here. I can leave the door open. I'm good. And, you know, around my way, I'm good. I ain't tell you about this shit, you know. Like, oh, man. Yo, I was at my girl house, right? And, you know, I don't really be locking the door like that. So, I get in the car to go to work from my girl's house. Yo, that car was tore the fuck up. Like, somebody went in the glove compartment, they went through all this shit looking for something. I don't know what the fuck they was looking for. Somebody was looking for something. They ain't take shit. Like I look, you know, registration is all there, all the personal identification is there. They must have thought maybe, you know, people keep money in their car, and like, I really don't keep anything of value, like, in the car, like that. Yeah. So it's like, they went, like, you could tell somebody went through the shit to look through it and find something, but they didn't. And just dipped.
Hold on, wait. You mean your car?
Yeah, this is like a couple weeks ago.
Well, what? You know, oh, wait, you never told me this shit. Damn.
Yeah, somebody went through that shit. So, around there, I'm locking everything and making sure it's locked. And it's funny because we talk about like nice areas and shit and how used to certain things, and you know, me going to, you know, the school that I went to and everything like that, you know, I know what a real nice area is. So like, you know, where she lives, it's a lot better than where she was living before. Yeah. And like, you know, she'd be like, oh yeah, it's so nice around here and everything. And granted, it's not the hood, and it's pretty nice and shit, but it's still some shit that goes down there because of certain neighbors and things like that. And to me, I wouldn't necessarily put the nice title on that area. I mean,
you know, like, well, no, of course, no shots, but that area reminds me of the area that we used to, like, the apartments.
Oh, yep.
That's what kind of reminds me of, you know, like, it's rather quiet for real, but you go outside, you do laundry. I had to walk through 15 bloods to go downstairs into the laundromat. And after a while, they had to know who I was. until I could really like go in there or whatever like that. And then there's a whole story about that shit. Did I tell you about the story about me and the Bloods when I had to talk to him about the laundromat?
Nah.
Oh my God. This had to be one of the craziest shit of my life, man. Like, and then I feel like this shit was connected to what happened to me when I first listened to Voodoo Mega's album on the bus stop. So you know, I think this was like around the time like of the first Killer Fifth album. And this had to be like the summer when it was like a day I just wasn't doing anything. And my mother said, well, if you're not doing nothing, you need to do laundry. So I said, all right, I'm going to do laundry. So I had to get up and stop watching TV Jams. I had to get my shit. But mind you, it was rather late. And I really didn't want to go out because I knew all the bugs would be outside. I didn't feel like dealing with them. So I go outside in my slippers or whatever like that. I'm walking. On the blood, it was like maybe 20 of these niggas, like, they blocked the laundromat, like, for real. And they were all surrounding it, and I'm walking, and they looking at me, smoking blunts. They had 40s and shit, like, it's LA and shit. I'm walking up to them, and like, what you doing around here, cuz? I'm like, and I got kind of fed up. I was like, I said, look, I live here. I said, y'all see me. I see some of y'all in the bus stop. Y'all see me around. I got kind of fed up. I was like, y'all see me on the bus stop, man. Y'all know what I do. Like, why do y'all keep doing this to me? Because I was just mad for some reason. And then after a while, I was yelling like, oh, man, yo, chill. You don't got to do that. We see you know where you at. I'm like, niggas, y'all know where I'm at. And I was like, y'all see me in these slippers, man, every other day. Y'all see me chilling out here. Do y'all really think I'm trying to mess y'all shit up? Like, no, we're not saying that. We just saying we don't know where you live. I'm like, look, y'all see me. I don't care what y'all doing. If y'all want to do what y'all do, you do what y'all do. So then I'm like, but look, I gotta do shit for my mother. I gotta wash these clothes. And then I had a conversation with one of them, like, yeah, I understand that, man. You gotta wash those clothes for your parents, man. It was a weird ass conversation. The shit was weird, man. I don't understand it. Anyway, they told me I had to wait though because they had the laundromat shut down because there was some guy, like, it was like two guys fucking one girl in there.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to wait for that. To end. So after a while, I was just chilling with them, with the handbook and shit like that. And they was asking me certain things like, yeah, so what school do you go to, man? Like, I go to such and such. Like, oh, man, I know so-and-so. You know him? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's my nigga. Whole thing. So I ended up hitting, like, I was smoking with him after a while pretty much, chilling. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm not trying to, ran no one's for raid, but I gotta get these clothes in, you know what I'm saying? And in the washing machine for my mother, he say some shit. So it was like, oh, that's right, I forgot about that, man. We thought he was out here chilling at one point, man. Hold on real quick. So they not gonna do it. Man, get your ass out here. So apparently, it was some weird shit that happened. Anyway, somehow they opened the door. And you see two niggas come outside, they had to pull their pants up, and this girl just comes out with pretty much no clothes on. And they pretty much wait for me to put my shit in. And then they go back and commence whatever they were doing. And then I come back, and they were still outside. They were still outside after the fucking load was done. I was like, hey, I said, look, I gotta put this shit in the dryer. So they come back, the same people come back out. I don't know what the way they were doing in there. They come back. This is like 45 minutes to an hour. They come back outside. I'm like, and so they're like, hey, look, man, this man gotta come out here and put his fucking dryers in the fucking. They had a whole argument about this shit about me putting the shit in the dryer because apparently I was the only person like washing clothes. And they let me do that, and then I put the shit in and I come back after another 45 minutes to an hour, and they were all gone. And then this led 2 weeks later, it led to me being on the bus stop. I listened to Voodoo Mega's album, and then I just one blood out there, and he's throwing up signs to me. for like, and for some reason the bus was like really late. I waited for almost like 45 minutes to like 50 minutes for the bus, and he was literally going in circles, throwing up signs to me the whole entire time I was there until the bus came. The weirdest shit ever. One of the weirdest things ever happened to me was during that whole blood Crip craze.
I mean, yo, like, the thing that gets me is, like, I guess, you know, dealing with certain people that we deal with and knowing the actual history of that shit and knowing, like, how dumb that shit is here and how, like, fake it is, like, for the most part. And, like, how that shit got started here, especially with the blood shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, you can't really take that shit serious. And it's like, I might be having a conversation like, yo, these niggas are not serious. And, you know, I have to remember in my mind, like, yo, these niggas are serious in their own mind. But that's not really what it is, you know?
Yeah. And,
like, yo, your grandmother wasn't in this shit.
And you know it was funny though, because do you remember the Voodoo Mega album?
A little bit, very little bit.
Okay, alright. I think the first joint that had Vast Air on it, and Voodoo Mega said, everybody swear that vampire blood, not really knowing what's going on. And for some reason, like, of course, this was after the fact, after I had, like, that so-called showdown with all the Bloods outside. It kind of just put everything in perspective because, you know, there was a lot of things that certain people were saying to us about the whole thing that was going on in Baltimore, and, you know, how we know Baltimore. We know that the way Baltimore works is through like your neighborhood. So you get your flight ticket, you put on Park Heights or, you know, so on, or whatever else, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, maybe that's the reason why, because, you know, they weren't shouting out the street or where they were. So maybe that's why for some reason I didn't take a whole thing of 20 niggas seriously and when they were trying to do that shit. I don't know.
I mean, like, yeah, like, I don't know, man, like, that's a whole nother conversation. Like, when you get into how and why that shit even got over here. Like,
yeah.
And, like, you know, just through my research, didn't you say, like, gangology was a major? Like you actually met a gangology major?
I never really. I think I vaguely remember that, but I just remember. I know it was someone studying gangs. I think she called it gangology, but I don't know if that was really real.
Okay.
Like a real. I think it was something that she was creating.
Okay.
Which I think was kind of ingenious.
Like, well, I guess when you go into the history of gangology, especially with the Bloods here, like, I think I'm trying to remember. I want to say the Crips came here first in the jail, and then some niggas wanted to fight against the Crips, so they just started calling themselves the Bloods, but they weren't connected to the actual Bloods in Cali. At least not for a while. It's like East Coast Bloods are different than Piru Bloods.
Right.
But then certain ones got sponsorship from niggas in Cali, so then it kind of became real. So, like, maybe it's more real now than it was when I looked into it. But it's like, it's a whole different culture. Like, it's a whole nother thing. So
I mean, it seems like a lot of that stuff has died down, though, for the most part.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, like, Baltimore is different because of course, Baltimore's always different, but you know, Baltimore has BGF.
Yeah.
And so that shit just kind of like trumps everything here. But if I'm not mistaken, BGF is Folk Nation, which is what the Crips are under, or at least certain Crips are under Folk Nation, because you know they got like the Folk Nation and the People Nation. And then you got and like you know the Folk Nation goes under the 6-pointed Star of David, and the People Nation goes under the 5-point star or whatever. So it's like, it's also like you know, you got the 5 and you got the 6 because it goes to like the points of the star that they use. And somebody broke it down to me one time, like the Bloods like the Muslims and the Crips like the Jews. Because they go under the Star of David, and I don't know. It's a whole shit with that.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, if I had to say about when it comes to hip hop, Baltimore hip hop, I would say that one of the things that kind of stops Baltimore hip hop from being what it could be is the fact that you don't even have like these different type of boroughs fighting against each other. You have these neighborhoods within areas fighting against each other, which I think didn't help with the spread of Baltimore hip hop.
Yeah, and I think another thing too is I think the segregation between the I guess the artistic community and the street community. And like whenever you see hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like whenever you see like some shit that's kinda working, it's usually some type of collaboration between like the artistic mica type crowd or like the elite type crowd and like the street type crowd coming together, but you don't see that too often. Whereas in like even in the formation of hip hop, you have the uptown scene and the downtown scene, and like you have the street type scene, and then you have like the Andy Warhol and the Jean-Michel Basquiat type scene coming together.
Yeah.
So that segregation, which is based upon various laws and things that are enacted that makes Baltimore the way it is, I think extends into hip hop, and so why it hasn't popped off here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, shit. I think I can't help but think that Baltimore pretty much being like the first place that like fully enacted racial zoning laws. I'm pretty sure that didn't help in the process either.
Yeah, like I was listening to something on NPR that's talking about like Baltimore versus Seattle or something like that, and like Seattle has similar poverty rates or whatever, but it doesn't have as much crime. That's because it's not as segregated as Baltimore, so the people who are in poverty see other things and they're exposed to more, and so they're not as likely to do that type of shit. So we're here, you can be in like one of the most depraved ghettos that's right next to one of the most elite ritzy type things, but you don't really see it. And like
Park Heights.
Yeah. And like, somebody, matter of fact, I think I was listening to Real Black Atheist, and he was like, yo, it's a real big deal sometimes to go downtown. So it's like a nigga in Baltimore be like, yo, I went downtown. Like, yo, you really did something.
Yeah. I never knew that shit existed until you showed me the back road of Park Heights. Never knew.
Yeah, you could drive Park Heights up to like Pennsylvania if you want to.
Yeah. That shit was crazy.
Coffin Road and all that. But I didn't realize this was late, man. It's 4:31 in the morning.
Yeah.
Let's bring this joint to a wrap. This might end up being 2 or 3 episodes. It might end up being 1. I don't know, but channel10podcast.com, audibletrial.com/channel10, etc., etc. You know what it is. Baltimore in a building, hip hop, and all of that. And
yeah. And I mean, thank you for all the subscribers and the downloads. I mean, they've been going up week by week by week, and we're highly appreciative of that. And even the people on SoundCloud who faithfully listen to us, but yet for some reason don't follow us, we appreciate you too.
Word.
Yeah.
So with that, we out.
Peace.
Feeling this here.
Yeah, son, you feel it, man. What up, son? You gotta just do it, yo.
CNN.
Yo, what up, man? It's a different channel, son. What up? On, man. What up? Watch the channel, son. Different plane now, man.
It's all good.
What up? All good, baby, in every hood, son. What up, yo? CNN, Network, Channel 10. It's on again. Street niggas, it's grown men. Bold face, gat in your face. Stay in place, yo.